I am Baba. Welcome to I am Baba. Welcome back to another episode of I am Baba, the podcast where we talk about personal development, fitness, and the beautiful chaos of life. If you are new here, grab a seat and feel at home, because today's topic is one that I'm extremely passionate about. It is also a fundamental part of any fitness journey. Now let me ask you, have you been committed to your fitness journey, showing up every day, giving it your all, only to end up so sore or in so much pain that it feels like your body is about to break down to pieces? Maybe you even found yourself dealing with an injury that put all your hard work on pause. If you've been there, I know exactly how frustrating this can be, because I have been there too. The truth is, most of these setbacks don't come from lack of effort or consistency. They come from a simple but overlooked factor. Your form. Yes, it's that simple. If your form is off, you're setting yourself up for pain, injury, frustration, and some serious trouble. But here's the good news. When you get your form right, everything changes. You can lift more safely, build strength faster, and prevent those unnecessary aches and injuries. So today, we are going to break it all down. We will talk about why form is the foundation of any workout and how mastering it can take your fitness game to the next level. I will talk about some of the common mistakes we make in and out of the gym and how fixing them can make a huge difference. We're also going to talk about how form doesn't just apply to your workouts. It's about everything you do, from picking up your kid to even just sitting at your desk all day. So hang tight. Let's get started. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly do you mean by form? Is it just about how I look when I'm lifting weights? Does it mean I need to squat like a bodybuilder or bend like a yoga instructor? Well, yes and no. So what exactly is form? Let's break it down. Form is how you position and move your body during an exercise, making sure your muscles, joints, and ligaments are all aligned to minimize injury and maximize efficiency. It's the foundation for every movement you do. Think of your body like a machine. If all the parts aren't moving correctly, or if something's misaligned, you are not gonna get the most out of that machine, right? Same goes for your body. On the other side, form is one of those things that is both universal and personal at the same time. Let me explain. Proper form can be different for each person, meaning that there is no such thing as universally perfect form for doing an exercise. It varies. Of course, there are some default recommendations that could be followed for almost every exercise, but when it comes to specifics, it looks different for every person because we all have different levels of mobility, flexibility, different body types, different ages, injury history, and even fitness goals. Let me put it this way. What works for the 25-year-old guy training to build muscle and strength might not be the same for a 55-year-old just trying to stay active and healthy. The key here is to find your form, one that keeps your body safe and aligned based on your unique capabilities. For example, with squats, some people consider proper form for squats to be going down to the point where your hips are parallel to the floor, while others consider proper form to be when your butt is almost touching the floor. Now, who is right? Both. Because some people just have a different body type, mobility, and flexibility. Their bodies can permit them to squat all the way down without any issues. Good for them. But those who can't go all the way down will start to round their backs or start having pain on their knees if they attempt to squat that deep. There are many examples just like this to show that form can be affected by different levels of flexibility, mobility, and individual goals. Now, let's talk about why good form is so important. First off, good form is about preventing injuries. Imagine trying to deadlift a heavy weight with a back rounded like an egg. Recipe for disaster, right? One wrong move and you are looking at weeks or even months of recovery time. But if your form is solid, it's like having a protective shield around your muscles, joints, and ligaments. Good form is what creates stability, balance, and control. And mastering it means understanding the way your body moves, the limitations you might have, and then working within that space. Good form is also what allows you to get the most out of every movement. Your workouts become more efficient. Every rep, every muscle worked becomes more effective. You are no longer just throwing weights around. You are making your body move with intention and power. It's the difference between just going through the motions and truly activating and targeting your muscles. Now, here is where it gets interesting. Form isn't just for weightlifting. It's for everything we do in daily life. Whether it's bending over to pick up your kid, pushing a heavy door open, or just sitting at your desk. I know, sitting at your desk. You are probably thinking, what does sitting have to do with your form? Well, ask your back at the end of a long work day. If you are sitting hunched over like a shrimp with your neck pushing forward and your spine rounded, my friend, that's bad form. And it's hurting you, whether you realize it or not. We will get into more details about this as we discuss further. All right, let's talk about some common mistakes we tend to make with our form. I tend to call them the weight of mistakes. Let's be real for a second. The gym is a very dangerous place for the ego. I don't care who you are, whether you are a beginner, intermediate, or a seasoned lifter. There's always that temptation to go big and show off. We've all been there. I get it. We all want to look strong. No one wants to be seen as a newbie or a beginner. But hear me out. Today, we will learn about the common mistakes we all fall victim to. The first, lifting heavy weights before mastering the technique. I believe this is one of the biggest mistakes I see in the gym every day, and I've had my own share of it. Jumping straight into lifting weights without even mastering the basics. It's basically like trying to run before you can walk. When I first started my fitness journey, I used to think form was just some fancy term fitness trainers throw around to look smart. I mean, what's the big deal? As long as you are lifting weights, sweating buckets, and feeling the burn, that's what counts, right? Wrong. And I learned that lesson the hard way. Let me take you back to my first ever gym visit with my brother, Mangong. I remember it like it was yesterday. I walked into the gym feeling like Francis Ngannou the Predator. I was convinced I could tackle the squat rack like a true champion. You know, I see these little boys, half my size, throwing around 200, 300 pounds like it was nothing. I thought to myself, if they can do it, I'm about to show them how it's really done. I am Baba after all, right? If they can squat it, I can probably double it. So I marched over to the squat rack, ready to load up those plates. But just as I was about to make history, or so I thought, my brother stepped in. Slow down, he said, trying to hide his concern. Slow down for what? I answered back with my eyebrows a little bit raised up. Let's warm up first, he suggested calmly. Warm up? What's there to warm up? That's for football players and marathon runners. I'm here to lift, bro. But after a moment of thought, I gave in. All right, fine. Let's do this. Let's warm up. So we started with a few bodyweight squats, just to get the blood flowing before tackling the weights. I thought it would be a walk in the park. No weight, just me and gravity, right? But as soon as I dropped into my first squat, something went horribly wrong. I don't want to get into the details. Guess what? I proceeded to do something that looked like a weird dance move, knees wobbling. And bam! I almost fell straight on my butt on my first try. Turns out, Baba couldn't even do a proper body weight squat. Oh boy's form was all over the place. That's when it hit me like a ton of bricks. I couldn't even do a proper body weight squat. Forget the 200 pounds. I wasn't ready for any pounds. If I had tried to load up that squat rack like I planned, it would have been a recipe for disaster. A 200-pound disaster, to be exact. That experience was a big wake-up call. I realized then and there that if you can't perform the movement properly with just your body weight, you have no business at all adding extra weight to it. Yet, I wanted to squat 200 pounds just because small boys were doing it effortlessly. Some serious ego problems we boys deal with daily, huh? But that's the thing about ego. It's a sneaky little voice that tricks you into biting off more than you can chew. And let's be honest, the gym is full of it. Whether it's squatting, benching, or deadlifting, we all want to lift heavier, show off, and feel strong. But if you can't control the weight is controlling you. You are not training your muscles, you are training your ego. Take the deadlift, for example. It's one of the best exercises for building strength in your back, glutes, and hamstrings. But if you are rounding your back like a shrimp or jerking the weight, you are setting yourself up for a back injury. So starting small and focusing on form is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. It's the smart approach. Because when you choose to lift weights without mastering the form, it's like building a house on sand. It looks impressive until it comes crashing down. So what's my tip? Start with your body weight. And I repeat, start with your body weight. Leave the weights alone until you've perfected your form. Once you have that down, then you can gradually start adding more weight. Another common mistake is rushing through reps. Whether you are doing squats, push-ups, or bicep curls, speed should never come before form. fitness is not a race. You can't rush good form. When you rush, you are more likely to sacrifice technique and cheat yourself out of the full range of motion. You are not building strength. You are just increasing the risk of tweaking something. Slow it down, breathe, and control the weight. Quality over quantity every single time. I used to be that guy, trying to pump out as many reps as possible, as fast as possible. But then I learned the value of slow, controlled movements. Taking the time to feel each contraction and control the weight all the way down and up transformed my workout. It's humbling to slow things down, but the rewards are huge. There is also this mistake I call the half repper. I'm sure you've probably seen this quite often. Someone loads up a squat rack, barely lowering their body halfway, and then count it as a full squat. Or someone who does push-ups that look like mini head knots, or like an agama lizard playing around. They are only moving through half the range of motion because they are more focused on getting in a high number of reps than doing the exercise right. But let me tell you, half reps give you half the results and double the risk of injury. If you are not using the full range of motion, you are missing out on building real strength and stability. So what's my tip? Next time, try this. Instead of rushing through those squats, push-ups, or curls, slow it down. Feel the burn. Focus on your breathing. Complete each full range of motion and keep your movements smooth and steady. You'll be surprised how much harder it is and how much stronger you would get. Take your time, go deep, and feel the difference. The next mistake, and one of the greatest mistakes of all time, forgetting about the core. The core is the most often neglected part of your body. Now, a lot of people think of the core as just the abs. You know, that six-pack everyone is chasing. But in reality, your core is so much more than that. It's like the central hub of your body, connecting your upper and lower halves, holding everything together. That's exactly why activating your core is crucial for almost every exercise, from push-ups to deadlifts, and even just standing with weights. I remember it like it was yesterday, the day I realized the price of neglecting proper form. I had been going to the gym consistently, pushing through some tough upper body workouts. My mindset was simple: lift heavy, lift often. The goal was to build a strong chest and those bolder shoulders. There was just one thing I was always neglecting: activating my core. I wasn't paying attention to my core, my posture, and how I was distributing the load. This all went on for a while, until one fateful day during a heavy shoulder press session. I remember feeling a sudden sharp pain in my left shoulder. But like the stubborn gym goer I was back then, I brushed it off. Just a little twinge. I thought. I shook it off and went right back to lifting. Huge mistake. That little tweak turned into a deep nagging pain that refused to go away. I couldn't raise my arm without feeling like something was grinding in my shoulder. Eventually, even the simplest things, reaching for a jar on a shelf, lifting my back, or just laying on my side became unbearable. Turns out that little tweak was the result of months of poor form and not engaging my core. It didn't just take me out of the gym, it threw my whole routine off for nearly 6 months. So here is what I learned the hard way. Your core isn't just for abs day. It's the stabilizer that holds your entire body together. Whether you are pressing, pulling, or just moving around. When you don't engage it, other parts of your body, like your shoulders, your lower back, and hips, are left trying to pick up the slack. And that's how you end up on the injury list, watching others make progress while you are stuck on the sidelines. That shoulder injury was the wake-up call I needed. It forced me to reassess everything: my form, my breathing, my core engagement, even how I approached lifting in general. I had to start from scratch and rebuild my foundation. I started focusing on doing it right instead of doing it heavy. And now I make sure to engage my core with every lift, whether it's a simple bicep curl or a heavy deadlift. Trust me when I say this, if you don't respect your form, your body will remind you in ways you won't enjoy. Now, let's talk about another mistake I'm sure we've all been guilty of. Ego lifting. Ego. When you think deeply, it will all make a lot of sense as I explain. Ego. It's something that sounds ridiculous when you think about it, but it happens more often than we like to admit. And believe me, I've been there. Ego lifting happens in every exercise. It's that guy doing bicep curls with their entire body rocking back and forth because the dumbbells are too heavy. It's that person bench pressing with the bar that bounces off their chest like a trampoline. It's even the person doing pull-ups who can barely get their chin over the bar but insist on counting every half rep. The truth is, ego lifting isn't about getting stronger. It's about putting on a show. And when you do that, you are not just risking embarrassment, you are putting your body in serious danger. Here is what happens when the ego takes over. You stop listening to your body, you push past your limits in all the wrong ways, you start chasing numbers instead of focusing on quality and technique. Before you know it, you are stuck with an injury, watching your hard-earned gains slip away. We've all seen it. Some of us have done it. And I'll tell you this, there's no shame in lifting less weight with good form. If you can't control the weight, if you can't complete the full range of motion, and if you can't maintain proper technique, then you are just putting yourself at risk. More weight will come with time and consistent training, my friend, but only if you are patient enough to earn it. The lesson: next time you go to the gym, first check your ego at the door. Start with a weight that you can control and gradually build up. Focus on engaging your muscles, using your core, and maintaining your posture. The goal is not to look cool and strong in front of others. It's to be strong for yourself. So next time you are tempted to load up that bar to impress that girl at the gym or match someone else's intensity, ask yourself, who are you really lifting for? And then dial it back. Engage your core. Keep your form tight and lift what you can handle. Trust me, your body will thank you for this. The fifth mistake: neglecting mobility and warm-ups. From the beginning of my fitness journey, I have always loved the idea of working out in general, but when it came to warm-ups, I was totally neglecting it. I used to think, I'm strong enough, I don't need to waste time warming up. I'll just walk straight in and start lifting weights immediately, and wonder why my shoulders were always so tight, or why my knees bothered me all the time. I've come to learn that mobility is what keeps your joints healthy, and a proper warm-up relaxes your muscles for safe, effective movement. It's not just about stretching, it's about preparing your body for what's coming next. Now, whenever I go to the gym, First things first, I spend time doing dynamic stretches, bodyweight movements, and mobility drills. I love to raise my heart rate with a little sweat before the real exercise. My go-to choice of exercise is the Stairmaster or the elliptical, sometimes a quick run on the treadmill. If I'm going to squat, I'll warm up my hips and ankles first. If I'm going to bench, I'll make sure my shoulders are ready. It's the difference between lifting with confidence and lifting with hesitation. So what's the key takeaway? Before you add more weight, before you chase numbers or rush through a set, ask yourself, can I perform this with perfect form? Am I using my body weight efficiently? Is my ego leading the way? Correct these mistakes now, and not only will you become stronger in the gym, but you also carry that strength into every aspect of your life. Remember, form first, always, because it's not just about lifting weights, it's about moving well and living pain-free. Now, after having said all this, I understand this might be a lot of information for some of you. I know some of you might be wondering, but Baba, how can I improve my form? Improving your form is not difficult. You begin with awareness of the need to fix your form. I would give you 5 body moves to always ensure you are aligning your body well before executing any exercise or movement. They are simple to remember, and you can use these as the foundation for correcting your form, not only in the gym, but also in every other aspect of life. They are, number 1, proud chest. Think of it like this. You push your chest forward as if you're standing tall and confident. This helps keep your spine aligned and your shoulders from rounding forward, promoting better posture and stability during exercises. The next one, back pockets. Think of it like this. You pull your shoulders backwards. You tuck those shoulder blades in. Imagine trying to slide your shoulder blades down and tuck them into your back pocket. This move engages your upper back, stabilizes your shoulders, and prevents unnecessary strain during upper body exercises. The third, booty break. This is where you act like you're about to sit on an imaginary bench. This cue helps ensure that your hips hinge properly, which is essential for squats, deadlifts, and other lower body movements. It prevents your knees from tracking too far forward and reduces stress on your joints. Now the fourth, I call it core lock. Engage your core by pulling your belly button inwards towards your spine as if tightening a belt. This stabilizes your torso, protects your lower back, and provides a solid foundation for lifting or balancing movements. The fifth, I call it the rooted stance. You position your feet shoulder width apart for a stable base. This stance distributes your weight evenly and provides balance for both upper and lower body exercises, ensuring you maintain control throughout each movement. So there are the 5. Run through these 5 moves in your head before any lift, and you are already miles ahead. This way, even when you are adding more weight or trying out a new exercise, your foundation is set. It's like having a blueprint that you can tweak and refine over time. If you are still very new and unsure of what you are doing, then I would advise you to do the following. One of the best ways to check your form is using a mirror or recording yourself while you work out. Sometimes we think our form is good, but when we actually see ourselves, we notice things that need correcting. Use the feedback from the mirror or video to make your adjustments. Another thing you can do, hire a trainer or take a class. If you're just starting out, or trying a new exercise. It might be worth working with a trainer or taking a class. Trainers are there to help you with form, to catch the little mistakes that can lead to injury, and to give you pointers on how to improve. Even if it's just for a few sessions, it can make a world of a difference. And if you are local in the Sacramento area and need free help with one-on-one training, DM me. So we've talked about the importance of form in the gym, the squats, the deadlifts, the heavy stuff. But let's zoom out for a second and take a look at the bigger picture. What about form outside the gym? Because here's the truth. Form isn't just for lifting weights, it's for life. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you are in the gym, feeling strong, ready to conquer that set of deadlifts. You approach the bar, your back is straight, core is engaged, and every muscle in your body prepared to work in perfect harmony. You execute the lift with textbook form. You feel powerful and in control. But then, hours later, you are at the grocery store lifting up a 20-pound watermelon and bam! Your back feels like it's been hit with a baseball bat. What just happened? I'll tell you what happened. You forgot about form. Guess who the culprit is? Me. So I'm talking from experience. You see, form isn't just about lifting weights in the gym. It's about how you move your body out of the gym environment. At home, at work, at stores, in every aspect of life. Are you picking up a weight, a grocery bag, or your toddler? Pay attention to your form. You can be a beast at squats or deadlifts at the gym, but if you are slouching at your desk for 8 hours or bending your spine like a question mark every time you pick up something from the floor, boy, you are setting yourself up for some serious trouble. I see some people completely throw themselves forward as if the world is coming to an end the next few minutes. Shoulders rounded and pushing forward. Think of it this way. Lifting in the gym is just practice. It's where you build awareness of your body, where you develop strength and learn how to move correctly. But it's not the end goal. The real test is when you carry that form into your everyday life. When I talk about form, I'm talking about how you do what you do, how you lift, how you push, how you pull, whether it's picking up your dog, placing something on the shelf, lifting your luggage, pushing a shopping cart, or just getting out of bed in the morning. Having a good form would protect your body from unnecessary strain and keep you moving safely. I remember one time I was helping a friend move some furniture. She looked at me and was like, "Hey, Baba, you work out, don't you? You mind helping me with that dresser?" And of course, I puffed up my chest like, "Yeah, no problemo." I grabbed it like I was Hulk Hogan, but didn't even think about my technique because it wasn't a gym environment. I rounded my back. I kind of twisted awkwardly and bam, my lower back gave out. I spent the next 1 or 2 weeks in pain and thinking, how did this happen? I deadlift 4 times this weight at the gym. That's when it hit me. Good form isn't just for the gym, it's for life. And it all starts with a simple principle: alignment. When you move, your body should work like a well-oiled machine. Here is what I mean. When lifting objects, treat every lift like a deadlift. When you bend to pick up a heavy box or even your back, think about it like a deadlift. Engage your core, hinge at your hips, and lift with your legs, not your back. Keep the weight close to your body to minimize strain. Doing this protects your lower back from a sudden injury. When it comes to pushing, think of it as a bench press. Whether it's pushing a heavy door or a shopping cart that is loaded to the brim, apply the same principles as you would for a bench press at the gym. Tighten your core, keep your back straight, and make sure your arms are in a strong, stable position. This way, you are using your chest and triceps efficiently without putting unnecessary pressure on your shoulders. When it comes to pulling, just like a row, pulling heavy things like a lawnmower or a big suitcase isn't that different from a seated row in the gym. Focus on keeping your shoulders back, chest up, and your core engaged. Use your back and biceps, not just your arms. Now another big one, posture. You see, posture isn't just for lifting. How you sit, stand, and walk is all part of maintaining good form. Slouching over your desk day in and day out is like doing a bad rep over and over again. It will take a toll on your spine. Remember, you want your ears aligned over your shoulders, shoulders over hips, and hips over feet. That's your baseline posture, whether you are lifting a dumbbell or just standing in line at the grocery store. I remember when I started working from home more often, at first I would hunch over my laptop, typing away like a maniac without paying attention to my phone. But over time, I noticed this nagging pain creeping into my neck and shoulders. It wasn't because of poor form in the gym, it was because of how I was sitting every day. I had conditioned my body to be in constant state of misalignment. So I started paying more attention to how I sit. At the end of the day, good form isn't just a skill for the gym, it's a way of life. It's about building awareness of how you move, keeping your body safe, and setting yourself up for a lifetime of healthy, pain-free movement. That was it. As we wrap up today, I want you to remember, it's not about how much weight you can lift. It's about how well you can lift it. Quality over quantity is the name of the game. And before we go, if you enjoyed this episode and found value in these insights, please subscribe, share this podcast with your friends, and leave a review. Your support helps grow the I Am Baba community and reach more people who are on their journey of personal development and fitness. Don't forget to follow me on social media for more tips and behind-the-scenes content. Until next time, keep perfecting that form. Move your body and live fully. See you in the next episode. Stay inspired and stay blessed. Remember, you are capable of greatness. I am Baba. Oh, ho, oh. How we drum, mom, faye.